Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again, and we are back on the van. So it is Friday, and this Sunday is Father's Day, and we have Cars and Coffee, and of course the van is the Cars and Coffee hauler. But due to these big old fat tires and flares that I put on, can't open the sliding door. So I can't really haul anything with the Cars and Coffee hauler. So we're going to see if we can fix that. So we got two options. One is the old school extender, which is what we're digging into right now. And the other option is to gull wing the side door. And I really don't want to do that. And we're not doing that today. What we're going to do today is take this apart so we can get the sliding door open and then see how far we can open it and how far I need to extend the extender. So anyways, so we're going to get this stop out of here. This is what stops the door. It stops the sliding mechanism, and that's when this piece here does its swivel. And this is what we're talking about extending. They used to make this kit, but obviously they don't make it anymore. So I'm pulling the stop off, and then we're going to pull this bolt off of here, and then we can slide the slider out of the rail and put the door on the jack, and then basically open it up and see how far we can go. I already took a measurement with the door open. The measurement that I took, I have 6 inches. So I'm going to get it out here, see how far we need to extend that extender, see if it's worth the trouble, basically. Obviously, we've already got the side cover off to access the rail system. There's a screw hidden up under here, and then a screw in the door jamb on this side. And once you get that pop loose, just grab that cover and it slides forward on these 3 bolts right here. You don't have to loosen them. It's a hook system, so you just got to slide it forward, and that comes off. And yeah, it took me about 45 minutes to figure that out, because I was trying to get those bolts out. They don't need to come out, and you can't really get to them. So anyways, I'll get this off, and we'll see what we have to work with. Door has to come out. That's gonna be tough with a tire on there. So that's way too much. The biggest thing that has to go through there is the cooler. And that is 18 inches. So it only needs to go to, let's say, 20. That's about 20. I'd like a little. Let's put it down a little bit here. So you can see how tight we are there to the tire and to the flare. This is the door panel. It's loose. Looks like she needs a few screws in her, but the bottom is what we're after. Right there. It looks like it'll hit the tire before it hits the flare. That's not terrible. So if we extend it, that's 3 inches. Let's say 3 1/4. It'll give me another 1/4 inch. I mean, that's enough room to get in and out of the van. 22 inches. Now I need to find a piece of round steel, that diameter. So I'm going to tear the rest of this apart. Looks like we're going to take a nut off of here, a nut off of here. Alright, so we got the rod out. It's fairly straightforward. Looks like it's just straight 90-degree bends. It's very important that it has to be clocked the exact same way. So we're going to have to, when I cut this, I'm going to have to build some sort of jig to slide this thing apart and lock it down so when I weld it, it stays. I really don't want to cut this one up. I don't. I've been all over eBay and Facebook and Marketplace and Craigslist. I cannot find one of these used anywhere. Nobody has them. Nobody has one for sale. I'm sure there's a million of them out there somewhere, but I've been putting this off for weeks because I don't want to screw this one up. But if it doesn't work, I'll just leave it out, shut the door, and it'll be fine. So anyways, I gotta go find some steel. Be right back. Alright guys, we are back from the steel supply store, and what we found, a piece of 3/4 inch, 0.75, 3/4 of an inch. Now the stock, yeah, we're committed now. We cut it in half. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. This is like 0.67, so as close as I can get, right? So what I did is cut the appropriate, here it is, the appropriate length, 3 1/4, and then I took about the equivalent pass of all 4 corners of it. So it's 0.67 width, and then when it's all done, then I'll grind it down circular. But right now I just want the same overall diameter of this so it fits on our jig that we're making here. So this is just a jig I whipped up quick out of some scrap steel. It's just basically a piece of 3/16 inch plate. I did grab a piece of angle iron from the store while we were there, and I welded 3 pieces in a perfectly straight line onto this plate of steel. And then obviously I drilled 2 1-inch holes, about 1 1/4 inch. And what we're going to do is clamp. So this is the one side already in. Whew, nice and warm yet. Basically, I'm going to burn these 3 pieces as such to these angle iron. So that it's going to hold it about as true as we can get, right? And then the holes are for I can go to the underside, and I'm going to basically weld it, and try to distribute the heat across it so it doesn't pull one particular way too hard. Is that going to work? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. So I'm going to get the rest of these tacked on, and then crank the welder up and just start burning the center of it, and we'll just bring it out together and then just let it cool naturally till it's, for an hour or whatever, and then see what we end up with, I guess. So hang tight. Evidently, a welder won't work unless you ground it. Let's get it on the table so it's a little stronger, and it is what it is. Helmet. Well, it's all cooled down and ground down. Sound good? So far, I mean, I think it's pretty good. It seems to be nice and straight, seems to be square, plumb, level, all that good stuff. I think we're going to go over and put it in the door and see what it does. I mean, worst case, we're going to have to take some torch action and make some adjustments to it, but let's go see how close we are first. All right. The orange, I left a little bit of orange on the one end because that should be that side, right? Trying to think. Alright, well, it took some jacking around. Basically, this section here, it's sleeved here, but then it's like a square drive on this section here. And this piece has a spring inside about this long, and it's pulling that center in. So I ended up pulling that out of the door with a screwdriver and fighting with it. If you ever do this, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. But you just got to get it lined back up and put back in. But other than that, we got our slide put back in. So without the stop in there, it's not going to work correctly, but I think I can manually. So as the door slides, it's going to hit the stop, because right now this rod is locked and it won't fold because there's a mechanism up in here. But if I trick that and unlock it and slide it, and then basically I have to fold it, I mean, it looks like it's hopefully going to clear the flare. I don't know. I'm going to do some math, but so something like that. I mean, other than that, whoa, hello, Jack. The door lines up frickin' just as good as it ever did. Okay, door shut. Seems to be working good. Now I need to work on the second part, which is the stop. And it does more than I thought it. I thought it was just a piece of steel that stopped the door from sliding, but it actually, let me grab a light. So you can see these two switches in here, just mechanical, spring loaded. And they do one of two things. One has a hook on it. So when the door closes, it hooks around this edge. And what that does is hold the door, it holds the hinge from sliding while the door pops out. And then once it pops out so far, it flips this little lever here. It turns around and hits those and unlocks it, which is pretty cool. And then when it is sliding shut, the lower one rides up and over this and then unlocks this guy. It's pretty cool. Pretty stupid simple, but anyways, we need to move this guy from the factory location over here. It's basically going to, I'm going to have to cut some of the original track out, and then I'm just going to cut that stop in half basically, extend it, and it looks like, in the math, it's like, well, if I extended the rod 3 1/4 inches, the stop should only have to go 3 1/4, and it's actually, it's like 3 3/8, I think, is what it comes out to. Plus, it's adjustable. Those holes are slotted, so I can go back and forth a little bit. So I'm going to go chop up some steel, and we'll make something out of this mess quick. Okay, so this is what I'm envisioning. This is the original stop, basically. So I just took a piece of 3/16, 1/8 inch plate steel, which is about the thickness of this. Put some relief cuts in the back so I could fold it up. And I don't know, something like that for now. And then, so I'm going to burn these two sections together. I'll probably just tack it, and then we'll throw it in the van, make sure it does what it needs to do, which I think it will. And if it does, then we'll burn her in, grind it down, paint her up, and then cover it up, because you'll never see it. So. Need that. Well, all in all, that thing works pretty good. I'm going to have to put a stop back here of some sort, whether it just be a screw a piece of metal in there or something. I don't want to weld on it. That is plenty of room to get in and out. Works just like it did 3 hours ago. Anyways, let's take it apart, blow it back apart. Actually, I don't have to take that off. I can just take this off, weld that together. Well, I got to take it back off to paint it. It is what it is. I'm going to go weld this together, grind it up, and then see if I can find some spray paint that is close enough to that yellow, because I don't have any of the yellow left. I don't know where it ended up at. But yeah, let's get this done. Okay guys, it's Saturday. Well, it's not morning anymore, it's afternoon. But I did run to Menards this morning and found the closest yellow that they had that matches my van, which isn't really that close, but it's better than nothing, right? So we're going to throw this thing together today and be done with it, hopefully. Man, I'd like to open that door a little more. Okay, before I put that stop in, I'm going to seal up these holes that I drilled yesterday. I did put a little primer in there too, a little spray primer, nothing fancy. Like I said, this thing don't see a lot of weather, so put the stop in here. Okay, see how that works. Latch is nice. Slides. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Open the door as far as I want it to open. Just right there. So I took a piece of angle iron and we're just going to screw that bastard right in there. The steel part will hit it. So for this, like I said, I made this plate. It's about 1.5 inches wide. It has 2 holes drilled through it. I'm going to put 2 stainless steel self-tappers through the rail. So now, assuming that nobody gets medieval on it, slide it back till it stops, right? Right there. Alright, I think we're done. Put side piece back on. So let's see here. I think it's got to be open. So these are those insets or whatever, reliefs. Basically it slides in and just slides back on them. But you just gotta, hopefully we didn't make any major changes here that affect anything. Cool. So now we just put the screws back in. Hopefully everything's lined up good. When I took that screw out, this whole thing popped pretty hard, so it's gonna be tough to get it back in the same spot. But we're gonna do it. Ah, there it goes. Wasn't so bad. So there we go. One last problem knocked off the to-do list. Look at that. Sliding door again. Just gotta go slow and easy. I already told the wife that's pretty much just gonna be me and her running the door, you know? Not those people who think they have to slam the crap out of everything. Because my doors work good. See? Look at that. No need to slam stuff. Well, I guess that's it for today, guys. I'm going to clean my mess up and finish getting stuff ready for Cars and Coffee tomorrow. Father's Day special one. We do a raffle with a bunch of prizes and donations from local companies and stuff. So I need the van running tomorrow. This will be your first time at Cars and Coffee in the new setup with the Coyote in it. So anyways, hopefully everything goes good. And hopefully the AC works. I did some work on that today too. It should be fine, right? Anyways, see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.